Yo, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. Guys, we are taking a look at the Colorado Avalanche today as we get ready for the Seattle expansion this summer. Jesus, I cannot believe it is less than 6 months away. We're going to have Seattle and the Seattle Kraken officially in the NHL. So, for a team like the Colorado Avalanche, who, let's be honest, are pretty freaking stacked, they may have to give up a player they otherwise probably wouldn't want to give up. Could we see Captain Gabriel Landeskog on the way out of Colorado? We're going to be taking a look at that in this video. If you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. And let's take a look at the future for Colorado Avalanche captain Gabe Landeskog. All right, so there was a recent article the other day by Craig Jones on The Rink, and the interesting thing here for the Avalanche is this is a team that's going to have let's say, a difficult time with the expansion draft coming this summer. They've got a really loaded roster, and they could potentially lose a pretty good name to Seattle. Now, here's a couple of things to consider. So, the rules are, let me take a look again. So I believe the rules are, let's take a look. So the rules, Seattle expansion draft. Okay. So there's different ways you can do this. So the first way is you could protect 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and a goalie. So you're able to protect 10 players, right, skaters, and a goaltender. Or, there's always an or 8 forwards and 1 goaltender. Like forwards and defensemen, I mean. So 8 players in general, and 1 goaltender, okay? Or 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goaltender. So basically, this is telling the teams that have 4 good defensemen, nah, you can't keep all your defensemen. That's what this is. And a team like Colorado makes this much more difficult. So let's just take a look at Colorado here on Cap Friendly. That's how I'm using this. So let's just take a look. So you're going to protect Mikko Rantanen. You're going to protect Nathan MacKinnon. And see, this is where it gets difficult, right? It gets more interesting when you've got defensemen. But those are a given. Mikko Rantanen and Nathan MacKinnon, we can agree, are going to be protected. But now you've got Erik Johnson on the blue line. He must be protected because he has a no-move clause, which makes things a lot more difficult for Colorado. And I'm going to get into that, and they get into that in this article. All right, so now you protect Sammy Girard. All right, that's easy. Devin Tays, right? And now things get more interesting because now you've got Cale Makar, and there's your 4th defenseman. So now you can only protect 8 skaters instead of 7 forwards and 3 defensemen because they have that 4th defenseman in Erik Johnson, thanks Erik Johnson, that they must protect. Now, even with 4 defensemen protected, we also have to remember the defensemen that are available now. Even with that, you still have guys like Jacob McDonald, Greg Patterin, Ryan Graves still unprotected. I think Ryan Graves could generate a lot of interest from around the league, and specifically Seattle. So now, let's go to guys that would probably be protected for forward. So Mikko Rantanen and Nathan MacKinnon. Now, here is where things get interesting. You have 2 guys on pending, they're going to be pending unrestricted free agents this summer. Gabriel Landeskog and Brandon Saad. With those 2 guys available, now let's remember, Seattle can only pick one of them. So if they take Gabe Landeskog, well, now you keep Brandon Saad, you keep Andrei Burakovsky, you keep all those guys. You could get really interesting here because now, okay, so let's say they protect Landeskog, right? So now you've got 3 forwards, Rantanen, MacKinnon, Landeskog, and then 4 defensemen, hypothetically, okay? Including Erik Johnson. So now you have one more spot to protect Brandon Saad, Andrei Burakovsky, Nazem Kadri, Tyson Yost, right? Travis Baran will also be available. He's a pretty solid forward. Vladislav Kamenev, Jonas Donskoy, These guys are all going to be unprotected. You can only protect one of those guys. Now, the good thing is Seattle can only take one of those guys. So let's just say for fun, they keep Andre Burakovsky. You're done. Okay? So now that means Brandon Saad, Nazem Kadri, Jonas Donskoy are available. And now you get to protect a goaltender. That's easy. You keep Philip Grubauer. Especially with the way Francouz has gotten injured this year and Hunter Miska has played, they don't have to worry about them taking a goaltender. So that's kind of the situation for Colorado. And the thing is, could we see Colorado maybe protect a Nazem Kadri and then leave a Gabriel Landeskog available? Now, you may be saying, well, why would they do that? The question here is, if they keep Gabe Landeskog available, now that frees up, you're going to keep Nazem Kadri, which is a second-line center, and now is Seattle going to maybe say no to a guy like Landeskog because Landeskog wants to win a Stanley Cup right now. He's going to command a lot of money. Does Seattle maybe say, you know what, he's a pending unrestricted free agent. He could just walk. We could, instead of getting a for sure thing in Nazem Kadri, which we could have maybe gotten, Gabriel Landeskog is kind of a guy that we don't know if he even is going to stay with us, right? But we saw what Vegas did. They were taking unrestricted free agents left and right. Absolutely, we'll take this guy, we'll take this guy, we'll take this guy, we'll take this guy. Not guaranteed that he'll sign there, but we'll still take him because we'll take that chance. That's just how good of a player he is. Maybe they do that with Gabriel Landeskog, but maybe Joe Sakic's thinking, you know what, maybe they would still take a chance at taking Landeskog even if he doesn't re-sign. So maybe we'll just protect Landeskog. So we've got our captain, Rantanen, and McKinnon. You've got that top three saved, and everybody else, besides Andre Burakovsky, is expendable. And you still protect all your defensemen. Ryan Graves would likely be the guy that goes out. But here's the thing. Now you've got Ryan Graves or Nazem Kadri or Jonas Donskoy. Who does Seattle take? Depending on who's going to be available, Ryan Graves may be the best option for them. He has the potential to be a top four defenseman in the league. And we've seen some issues with Nazem Kadri in the past, specifically in the postseason. We don't have to get too far into it, but we know the status with him. And Jonas Donskoy can score goals, so that's a for sure goal scorer that maybe Seattle wants to add. So they have some options still. And the good thing is they're able to protect Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen. And they're able to protect their three big defensemen, even with Erik Johnson. Now here's the other question. What if before the expansion, Colorado moves Erik Johnson? Erik Johnson, let's remember, Erik Johnson would definitely be interesting. He makes $6 million till 2023. So we still got this year, next year, I guess 2 more years left on a $6 million per season deal. So that's expensive. But the thing is, teams are going to look Erik Johnson's way. But here's the thing. Now, if you don't protect Erik Johnson, right? And he's available. Now you've only got 3 defensemen protected. So you could either protect Ryan Graves, so you've got your 4 defensemen protected still without Erik Johnson, or you leave Ryan Graves unprotected, but you keep, now you have 3 more spots to get more forwards. So now if you get rid of Erik Johnson, you keep your 3 defensemen, now you could keep Nazem Kadri, Jonas Donskoy, and Brandon Saad. So now Ryan Graves is still the guy that gets picked up, but you don't have to worry about Erik Johnson. You see what I'm saying? So it definitely changes things. It's either, so like I said, the rules are you get to protect either 7 forwards and 3 defensemen and a goalie, or 8 forwards because you need to protect 4 defensemen. 4 defensemen is your kryptonite. If you have to protect 4 defensemen, you're basically giving up a forward or a very talented forward that you otherwise wouldn't want to give up, which in Colorado's case could be Nazem Kadri or a guy like Jonas Donskoy. So I think it's quite interesting to see how Colorado could shake this thing out. And if they leave Ryan Graves unprotected, at the end of the day, either way, whether they get rid of Erik Johnson or not, it still may be Ryan Graves that gets plucked off. Because let's be honest, they're going to protect Makar. They're going to protect see, here's the good thing. They don't have to protect guys like Bowen Byram. which I think is good. But still, it leaves a couple of holes where maybe Colorado has to give somebody up. So, guys, like I said, this is all just speculation. Could we see Landeskog maybe go to Seattle? I don't know. I think it's a long shot, but the questions have been thrown out there. And if Colorado doesn't have the money to keep Landeskog, maybe they say, hey, you know what? Instead of losing Ryan Graves, who we could keep for another year to keep our window going, we'll lose Landeskog, which is a really tough loss, but we know we can't re-sign him anyway. And if we're still able to keep Ryan Graves, we could do that as well. So it's not the best situation, but in terms of managing our salary cap, maybe losing Landeskog is the way to go for the Colorado Avalanche. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This may generate some interest, again, because we don't know what Joe Sakic is thinking. Is he sold on keeping, on Gabriel Landeskog at any cost? Or does he realize that we're in a window right now, we're not worried about it, we'll worry about it in the offseason, we'll leave him available to Seattle if they want to take him, great, we keep Ryan Graves. And if not, they take Ryan Graves and we'll figure out a way to keep Gabriel Landeskog in the long-term future. So, guys, like I said, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think, Colorado's going to do? Who do you think would pick? Who do you think Seattle would pick from this Colorado team? Do you think it's a Nazem Kadri? Do you think it's Ryan Graves? Or could it potentially be Gabriel Landeskog? Let me know down below. If you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, you guys know what to do. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and let's go Avs.